Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. A few years ago, I wanted to try painting one of every first founding Loyalist Space Marine chapter. And at the time, I was pretty happy with how all of them turned out. The project allowed me to paint with colors that I don't normally paint with, and it allowed me to play around with some design ideas and potentially getting some ideas for future projects. But as the years have gone by and my painting has gotten better, a lot of them just don't work for me anymore. Except for the salamander, because I absolutely adore this model. In order to see how far my painting has progressed over the past couple of years, I'm going to do the same exact project with these push-fit Leviathan terminators that have been sitting around my desk for the last couple of months. But there are only 5 terminators, but 9 Loyalist legions, so which ones am I choosing to repaint? The first to be eliminated is the Imperial Fist. I'm already working on a whole Imperial Fist army, so I paint yellow almost daily, so we do not need to practice painting yellow on a brand new Terminator. Next to be eliminated is the Dark Angel. The Dark Angels already have a unique Terminator sculpt, so in the future if I ever want to paint one, I would just paint one of those. We're kicking the Raven Guard to the curb too. I just didn't want to paint black twice, and also I just think the Iron Hand, spoiler, is just something that needs to get redone. And lastly, I'm using the same logic with the Space Wolf as I did the Dark Angel. They have unique Terminator sculpts. I'll just paint one of those in the future if I really want to paint a Space Wolf Terminator. So that leaves us with a Salamander, a White Scar, an Iron Hand, a Blood Angel, and an Ultramarine. And the first model that we're going to attempt to paint is this Iron Hand right here. To begin, the Terminator was primed Chaos Black. Immediately after that, we are adding a layer of Army Painter's matte black over the entire model. Black paint over a black primer ensures that you have a smooth base coat for the model and also hides any sins or any areas that you might have missed while you're priming the model. Remember how I said we were going to attempt to paint the model? That was kind of a misnomer. The model is painted. We didn't attempt. We succeeded. What we attempted to do, but failed, is filming it. You catch that? I know, the camera caught it too. The camera caught it for the entire paint session. The original idea for this video was supposed to be tips on painting white and my mentality about painting black. But instead, the only thing that we are taking away from this first half of the video is preparation. And how are we going to prepare for next time? Just make sure your head isn't in frame. That's all. If you want to see the next Terminator that I paint, you could skip to this point of the video right here. And before we get to the next Terminator, I'm going to use this point in the video to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more blunders like this, or maybe even better paint jobs. Yeah, there was a lot I really wanted to talk about with this model. Oh well, you live and learn. Okay, let's actually paint a model on camera this time. The old Blood Angel? Not bad, but I'm very excited to show you how this brand new Terminator turns out. As the base, we're going to do a combination of War Painter, Fanatics, Resplendent Red, and Imperial Navy. And just like the Iron Hand before it, this Blood Angel is primed red just so no colors clash and no color has to work too hard against another color. I really enjoy painting vibrant and punchy colors. This dark base layer is going to help my highlights seem even brighter. And for some visual interest, the shoulder pads and the power fist are going to be painted black. For both of the base layers, we're going to make sure we add more than one coat just so it's a nice, smooth finish. For the next layer, we're going to add 100% resplendent red, which was the red that was mixed into the base coat. It's going to be painted everywhere where the light will be hitting the model. So that means the front and top of the legs, the top of the power armor, and around the face. We're going to keep the inside of the legs and the underside of the Terminator in that base layer of the red and the navy just to give it a little bit of visual play. Red paints are not as opaque as the other colors in their ranges, so just make sure that you add multiple, even layers to give it a nice color. Next, we're going to use one of my new favorite colors to paint with. Using the Army Painter's Legendary Red, we're going to follow the same path that we used with the Resplendent Red. The front of the legs, the top of the knee pads, and all of the edges on the top of the power armor are going to get this highlight. Once we're done with the Resplendent Red, we're going to add some Magos Purple contrast paint, water it down, and add it to all the shadowy areas of the model. Once the purple is dry, we come back with the legendary red and we highlight extremely close to the shadow. The edges of the armor and the bottom of the feet give us really good areas to highlight to really bump up the contrast between the dark purple and the red that we're using. To bump up the highlights, we're going to add some pale sand from the army painter to the legendary red. As I'm highlighting, I'm adding less and less paint to the areas that I want. To tie everything together, I'm going to take a watered down Fugan orange and apply it to the entirety of the model. When painting, if you realize any of your highlights are getting just a little too bright, you can dull them down with a glaze or a wash. And for one final highlight on the red, we're going to add a little bit of ice yellow to the legendary red and just hit the tippy tops of all the edges. Now this is something that I would have gone over with the Iron Hands model if I actually had good footage for it. For the black on the shoulder pads and the power armor, we're going to start wet blending lighter grays and lighter blacks into the black base coat. As you can see right about here, when you start to wet blend all the different colors together, you get a seamless transition between the highlight color and the darker color. And now, because I'm psychotic, I decided to freehand a little bit of hazard stripes on the Power Fist. No stencils, no tape, just a little bit of sweat and a lot of confidence. These stripes have Xandri dust as a base, sun yellow from Vallejo, and some demonic yellow from the Army Painter. And then, finally, for a little bit of character, we're just going to sponge on some black just so it looks like some battle damage. And there you have it. 2 Space Marine chapters before and after. If you've stayed till the end, a huge thank you for sticking it out. In the future, there will be less of my head in the frame and more awesome painting ideas just like this. See you next time.